Hello, thank you for hosting me. I'm Mariam Afifi, as you said. I'm a musician from Jerusalem, Palestine. So I want to talk more generally about our situation as Palestinians in Jerusalem. So our main struggle today as Palestinians from Jerusalem is to fight the ongoing Israeli efforts to erase us and to erase our existence from this city. These efforts have been ongoing since 1948 until today. In 1948, all the Palestinian neighborhoods that were in the western side of Jerusalem were occupied, emptied from their Palestinian owners. Massacres took place and whole neighborhoods, cities, and villages were emptied. After 1948, those Palestinians that were left in Jerusalem that hadn't been killed or displaced have been dealing with the ongoing attempts of displacement by the Israeli occupation. It's not a secret, nor it is private, that Israel has declared to be a Jewish national home, continuing the long-lasting project that started in the late 19th century, which is Zionism. And I want to make it clear that opposing Zionism does not mean opposing the Jewish religion or being anti-Semitic, as Zionism is not a religious project, it is a colonial project. So today, in line with the massacres and the use of force, Israel uses its biased courts as a powerful weapon in order to legitimize its policies of ethnic cleansing and forcible displacement. These biased courts have been working for so long to serve one goal, and this goal is to include more lands with and to exclude as much Palestinians, like more lands, less people, less Palestinians. Include and steal as much place and exclude as many Palestinians. Today, we Palestinians in Jerusalem consist of 40% of the population. The tactics to empty us vary in different forms. One of the forms is the one you are hearing about now, that is taking place in Sheikh Jarrah and the neighborhood of Silwan in Jerusalem. They are performing ethnic cleansing against whole neighborhoods using different methods and excuses. In Sheikh Jarrah, as you all know, 28 families are facing the risk of being displaced if we haven't protested for more than 4 months in Sheikh Jarrah, and their cause has not been talked about everywhere in the world, they would have been displaced already since the month of May. As 4 families were already displaced from the neighborhood back in 2009. In Silwan, which consists of different neighborhoods, each neighborhood had its own cause. For example, in Al Bustan neighborhood in Silwan, they want to demolish 100 houses in 50 dunams to recreate the David City Park, which means 1,550 people will be displaced. In Al Batn Al Hawa neighborhood in Silwan, 750 Palestinians will be displaced in order to bring settlers from the US or Europe to take their place. They are planning to demolish another 280 houses in the Wadi Asul neighborhood in order to build the streets that connect the Israeli settlements and outposts together. Of course, under international law, this is all illegal. But as you know, it's not a legal state. It's not a legal case. It is a political case. It's a colonial case. Another way they use is to exclude some Palestinian neighborhoods and residentials away from Jerusalem by building a wall that we call the annexation and expansion wall. This wall prevents the Palestinians in these areas from entering Jerusalem, cutting them off. If you have a look at the root of the wall, the way it is built, you will see how literally their main goal is to include as much land and to exclude as many Palestinians. And they gave us Palestinians in Jerusalem a special legal status as we are considered residents but not citizens. And our residency is permanent. They would deny us Palestinians from having any Palestinian institution or organization or whatsoever. They would prevent us from doing any act that would express our, let's call it Palestinianship in Jerusalem. They would attack us and arrest us if we raised a Palestinian flag or organized a Palestinian event or activities. This actually has recently become a way we use for resistance. The Israeli occupation has long been counting on its ability to silence us and to silence the international community when it comes to the crimes it practices against us Palestinians. It has long been sieging our voices and our stories and occupying the powerful news platforms around the world, spreading its propaganda. It did not expect that we, the Palestinians, without any support, could reach the world through our different social media platforms, showing the world what's taking place here through our own eyes, voices, and the cameras in our phones. We Palestinians fear that a day will come that we will not be able to call ourselves Palestinians anymore, or to refer to our place as Palestine. If you open any map today, digital or paper, as much as you would search, you will not find the name Palestine. We are being erased from the maps as well as from any international platform or document. Facebook and Instagram has deleted posts and photos of the Palestinian passport that was issued during the British Mandate period to 1948. Before deleting them, they considered them as sensitive content. Like, tell me, what is sensitive about the name Palestine or the word Palestinians? Remember that Palestine is not the issue of Palestinians alone. It is shameful that we are in 2021 and occupation, colonialism is still ongoing. Everyone should stand in the face of colonialism and occupation. We as Palestinians resist through any way possible. We choose to resist in order to confirm that we exist. We refuse to be erased. Everyone should talk about Palestine. Israel should be sanctioned. Free people around the world should push their governments, should go down to streets and demonstrate. It's not something that Palestinians should only stand for. It's something that all humans should stand for. How can occupation, oppression, colonialism still be ongoing until today? And I want, the last thing I want to talk about, that for us Palestinian, peace is not the issue. Equality is not the issue. It is freedom. Freedom is the right and only question and answer. You cannot ask someone who lives under occupation, who lives under discrimination, why don't you make peace with your oppressor who neglects your right as Palestinian, creating unlivable conditions which are intended to uproot Palestinians from their land, while basic human rights are violated on a daily basis. We as Palestinians resist through everything, aiming only for freedom, through music, through dancing, through art, through literature. I am a musician in the Palestine Youth Orchestra. We tour the world to show everyone that Palestine still exists. Many think that there was no such thing as Palestine after 1948, but we still exist. Everyone should talk about Palestine. Everyone should show the world that it still exists. They try to erase us from history. We should show them, everyone should show them that they cannot.